Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'll be talking on the malware. Most times people confuse the malware with the virus, and what is a virus, what is a malware. Malware is actually softwares which are actually designed to cause harm to your system. They are just designed to extract information with the aim of making money out of it. That's what we call the hacking or whatever they call them. So most times they are just meant, they are designed actually to extract information that can be used to make money from you. And so what are some forms of this malware that we're talking about? We have the virus, we have the Trojan, we have spyware, we have ransomware, we have keyloggers. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to give a brief introduction or brief idea of what this mean. For the first one, we'll talk about the Trojan horse. It's from the history of how they use the Trojan to they use it for the war. Let me leave that aside. But for this Trojan horse, mostly they are is one thing representing another thing. For example, I'm trying to download a video or music, for example, and then actually I'm seeing music on the screen, or that's what I'm seeing on my screen. But actually, on downloading it, I actually download this virus, which actually acts as something different, and it's not really visible. So most times, these Trojan horse are just they appear to be one thing, and then in reality they are just something else, and they deep into your system, that's your computer, and they cause havoc without you knowing. Sometimes the only symptoms you might see some abnormal activities in your system, like the DDoS attack, like your system just freezing, not giving you that the result as usual as it were. And secondly, let me talk about the virus itself. What we call virus is those are malware that have the ability of replicating themselves. They can duplicate themselves in your network or in your system, and they can move from one system to another. And one common way they do that is through the removable devices like your flash drive, like your diskette, like your SD card, and all that. So those are probably the easiest platform which those viruses move. So they can, once it's affected, they get into your system and they begin to download other viruses. Just like you giving an edge to something, and then it's bringing other ones into your system. And I said earlier, their major aim is to extract money from you. So they kind of make your system misbehave, and sometimes they collect information and send it to the mothership, like the hacker. Let me use it that way. The hacker itself send information, collects information from your system and send it to them. And that brings us to spyware. Spyware, most times they're just in your system to spy for you to spy information from your system. Sometimes they can be there for a year, for 6 months. It depends on how long they or whatever the information they need. And they might just sit in your system and just wait for you to input information, sensitive information, such like your bank information, yeah, like your bank information, your personal information, or anything that can be used as a ransom to get you. They can use that. They wait on those click, and they observe everything you do on your system. They probably the how you your pattern, the pattern in your system. They try to observe that, the website you visit, and some common things like that that you might not really take serious, and that's what they do. They take from your system. And that takes us the using a keylogger. What we call a keylogger probably is just like they monitor your activities, like your keyboard, for example. Everything you type on your keyboard is being monitored and registered somewhere. They take screenshot from your system, your whatever screen you are in, so they can maybe to monitor you. And then they can, how hazardous that can be. And then we'll talk about the ransomware. Just like we call the word ransomware, they encrypt your information in your system. They Yeah, they encrypt on your information on your system, and then they ask you to give them a certain amount of money so that they can give you the access key to retrieve those information. But for me, I usually advise people to have a regular backup of their system, especially when you're working in a project. You need to have probably a weekly backup, or a daily backup, or a monthly backup, such that once information like this can happen, you can just delete the whole thing. In that way, it clears off the ransomware, and then you restore it from the known source, the last known source from your system, and then you continue. The last one I want to talk about is the crypto miners. And what are the crypto miners? When we talk about cryptocurrency, it's like solving complex a mathematical equation or some information, and then at the end you end up getting money. And so the more you do it, the more money you make, and that consumes more. When you talk about computation, you consume more of your CPU space, and once you're consuming that CPU space, they need more and more CPU space, so they use the crypto miners to get into your system and then make your system to carry out those tasks, those difficult tasks, without you knowing. And one of the symptoms you get to understand about that is that your system begin to overheat, like it's working more than it's supposed to. You keep your system and it's overworking. It um consume more CPU space. So in our next video, we'll be talking about the major ways in which our system can get infected. There are two basic ways, and I'll tell you in the next video. So thank you for watching.